All right. Jets finding themselves a way to move up to number 4 overall. Titans wind up beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs lose Gardner Minshew. They're down to quarterback 3 right now. Jets have an opening to the number 1 pick. Still kind of unlikely, but there's an opportunity. Jets lose to the Saints today, 6-29, in a game that was pretty close for a while through halftime, and then we got our doors kicked in. Brady Cook, 22 of 35, 188 yards and an interception. He took, 8 sacks? Might have been 5 sacks. It was a lot of sacks. 8 sacks. Woo. Oh, Nelly. Not good if you are one Brady Cook. But I, for one, would like to see him get 2 more swings at it. Give 2 more opportunities. 2 more shots. Come on, baby. Almost there. Tyler Shuck, on the other hand, 32 of 49, 308 yards and a touchdown. We did get to him 3 times, but they dropped him back 52 times to pass. They're throwing all over the place. Taysom Hill gets himself a touchdown too. Ugh. Jets run a rough spot. Chris Olave, 148, 2 touchdowns on 10 receptions, had 16 targets. Absolutely crazy. Crazy. Sack-wise, we got Sherwood with a sack. Will McDonald got a sack. Jawan Briggs credited for a sack. I think it was just those 3. Yes, those 3. Top rusher, Breece Hall, 54 yards on 16 carries. That's 3.4 yards a carry. Jets running game, for as good as they were for a hot minute there, really have been under 4 yards a carry the last little bit. A lot of that could stem from the lack of pass game from our quarterback. I think that's possible, but just would like to see something get figured out. I was hoping to see a little bit more towards the end of the stretch here. Top receiver was Isaiah Davis, 4 receptions for 52 yards. Not ideal. We did have A.D. Mitchell with 43. And I think we saw, was this the first time we actually got to see Jelani Woods on the field? He didn't have a reception, but I know there was 1 target thrown his way. Man, the Jets. So I'm really just looking at the draft standings at this point. And I think most Jet fans probably are. This was the big one. We needed to find a way to lose this particular game because there is a lot on the line next week. I put the remaining schedules for the teams down below that you guys can take a look at. Giants play the Raiders next week. The first team versus the second team. That's the game we're going to be keeping an eye on next week. Jets have the Bills and the Patriots the next 2 weeks. The thought is as long as those teams are playing for playoff seeding or positioning or whatever, Jets should lose both those games. We have the hardest schedule remaining in the NFL right now. Now, the Raiders, this is a weird conundrum. And there's some math that I don't entirely know off the top of my head right now. Because right now, the Giants and the Jets are tied in strength of schedule. So there is a scenario where the Giants beat Vegas next week and they still pick in front of the Jets. So, of course, we want the Raiders to win. We want the Raiders to fall behind the Jets because they're the team looking for the quarterback. It doesn't seem like the Giants are going to go quarterback, even though Dart has not looked good as of recently. I would be surprised if they moved off of him after 1 year. Cleveland, to me, feels like a toss-up. They could go quarterback, but they still have Deshaun Watson under contract for like $80 million next year. And that's if they June 1st cut him. It would if they actually June 1st, no, that's if he's on the roster. If they June 1st cut him, it's like $130 million. It's something insane. Just a wild amount of dead money. And then you've got Gabriel and Sanders, which you didn't invest a crazy high draft pick in. But it feels like that quarterback room should probably stay what it is for 1 additional year. You're almost like punting on a season with how low your salary cap is. Although I guess you wind up with a high draft pick next year, a rookie quarterback. I don't know. I could see them go quarterback. They're kind of 50-50 in my mind. If they absolutely love one of Mendoza or more, then they'll come out. The Raiders, you would think, are definitely taking a quarterback. It would be so Jetsy for us to get the 3rd pick in a 2-quarterback draft. With 2 teams that need quarterbacks right in front of us. I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not how it all shakes out. Let's see here. I want to get into your thoughts. I put a poll question in the chat. You guys can vote on that. Which pick will the Jets end with? The first pick, the second pick, the third pick, or fourth or worse? Now, if the Jets lose out, I don't think there's any way we could fall to 5. So you'd have to be predicting us to get a win. Cleveland, we're going to need to win one of these next 2 games. They got the Steelers and they got the Bengals if we want to have a shot towards that number 1 overall pick. Let me see here. Sorry, just going through my phone real quick. Send myself a picture. All right. Where did that ding from? Navy Hamster. What's good, dude? Let's bring this down a little bit. Wham. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, do the Jets go in on quarterback this year or hold out till next year? I do love Mendoza. I think if Mendoza and Moore come out, the Jets would probably lean Mendoza. Although I thought I've heard that the Jets have had more games with scouts at Oregon games. I'd have to double check that. I don't know if that is still the case, but it feels like Mendoza has kind of been the favorite all along. So if they have an opportunity to get him, that would probably be it. Now, let's say the team picking in front of us selects Mendoza and Moore is there for the Jets. I do think the Jets would take Moore. Are they willing to trade up, and how much are they willing to trade up? That's really what we're going to have to try and figure out, because you're in a position right now where you're getting potentially quarterback 3 or the top non-quarterback. And this is kind of not like the best draft to have like the best non-quarterback available. Like I would almost, if you can't get one of the top 2 guys, I'd almost rather trade down. I think you explore what it costs to go up to 1 if you don't get number 1. Like say like, hey, we'll give you this year's, maybe it's the 2 first. Maybe it's the Colts first and your first. Maybe that's what gets it done if you're sitting in the top 3. Now, that's the best part right now. The Jets are sitting probably looking at the top 3 pick. I think 3 is where we ultimately end up. I don't think we're going to leapfrog the Browns, and then I think one of the Giants or Raiders will still end up in front of us. But if you're in a position where you can get the top non-quarterback, I think I would prefer to trade down and try to let someone else come up for a guy. Just load up an additional pick. Like if you can't get the quarterback, the pick isn't necessarily as important. I think you have to explore what it costs to go up to 1 if the Giants have that first overall pick. If it's the Raiders or Cleveland, you might not have the opportunity. V-Man, what's up, dude? Thank you so much. Says, if the Chiefs are so bad they are losing to the hapless Titans, they could genuinely lose to the Raiders, especially if they want to try and deny them the number 1 pick. Yeah, if the Chiefs were being super like forethought, had the forethought, and they're like, hey, our division rival, if we win, they get the top quarterback in this draft. If we lose, they're going to fall down. If the Raiders catch a win, they fall down to the fourth pick, sorry. They would fall behind the Jets. Tennessee, they would still be in front of Tennessee and the Cardinals if they have the same record. So that's a win. Giants win next week. Chiefs win. Raiders beat the Chiefs. And then the Browns find a way to beat the Steelers or Bengals. And the Jets pick a number 1, baby. Assuming the Giants' strength of schedule doesn't end up as a tie with us. That's the part that is the most concerning, which I guess a win for them and then a Raiders win versus the Chiefs would help that, because they would have one additional win over another opponent. So that's probably our best case scenario, to find a way to the number 1 pick. Jake says, I drove 7 hours from Manalapan to celebrate my 40th birthday with my friends last night. I got up at 6 a.m. to make sure I made it back home in time for kickoff. Jake, why would you do that? Why would you do that? They're nuts. So fucking happy I passed out on the couch for like 15 minutes in. How do you lose to the Saints by 23 points? Dude, they got their doors kicked in. After the first half, like the Jets kept it close. There was a few turnovers that made it not a total blowout, but I mean it was a blowout. And I think you're going to start hearing a lot more rumblings about Aaron Glenn. I don't think Woody Johnson's going to move off Aaron Glenn after 1 year. And he gave him a 5-year contract. Like, that, to me, would be very, very surprising. But if you lose real big to both the Patriots and the Bills next 2 weeks, I mean, would Woody eat that contract to bring in potentially an offensive-minded coach? Like, hey, new coach, you're going to have 5 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks over the next 2 years. That, all of a sudden, looks very enticing for a coach. I just have no idea who that coaching candidate would be. That, to me, is the big question. I think he's more than likely going to be coming back and will be our head coach for next year. So I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. But yeah, man, we got our doors kicked in. Doesn't the Raiders play the Chiefs week 18? Yes, they do. Raiders-Chiefs play. Browns fucked us by not going for the field goal before half. The Browns, like, between us getting, that was the game with the 2 special teams touchdowns, right? Like, that was squirrely. Like, I think the Browns are a better team than us. Their defense is definitely better than our defense, and our offenses are both kind of stinky. Our special teams is legit, but man. And then also going for 2 and, like, doing that stupid 2-point conversion. Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago where it, like, took the ball out of Shador's hand? He wasn't even on the field. They're definitely trying to get the number 1. Cook not throwing the ball. No, he's not. The kid says we're getting the number 1 pick. I hope so. There's a path for it, but we kind of need, like, Joe Burrow to just not give a shit the final week of the season, or Aaron Rodgers to just get broken in half by Myles Garrett next week. It's kind of where we're sitting. Spooner. Need the Patriots to lose and the Bills to lose next week to keep the strength of schedule and have a shot at first overall. Thank you, Tennessee. Yeah, the Jets need opponents that did not play the Raiders or the Giants to lose. So obviously the Bills losing, the Patriots losing. The Bills, I think, play the Eagles, and the Patriots, I think, play the... Who do they play? I'm blanking right now, but they have 2 games that they could... Each team could lose a game before playing us. And then you have the Dolphins. Dolphins losing helps us because it counts as 2 losses for us, where the Raiders did not play the Dolphins. I got to look at the Giants schedule. What was the Giants schedule this year? Giants schedule. Who are their common opponents with us? So Giants opponents, Washington losing hurts. They've got the NFC North. Is it the North? No, they don't. Yeah, they do, because they played Minnesota. So we want the North to just keep winning. When we get to the final week of the season, it's hard because I think everyone plays division matchups at that point. Let's see. So games that are not common between the 2 of us. I don't think we have anyone. They got New England. So we don't want New England to lose. Actually, no, we do want New England to lose. Sorry, because it counts as 2 losses for us, and only 1 loss for the Giants. If New England wins, we get 1 extra win, and the Giants move in front of us. Who else? I'm going to have to put the schedules back to back. God, I don't even remember. We played the AFC North. No. Yes. AFC North, and was the NFC South? Ryan, if the Raiders lose against the Giants, Mendoza is gone. We have an opportunity with them playing the Chiefs' 3rd-string quarterback. Mendoza ball next week. That's what it's... I mean, people are going to be looking at it for sure. Cleveland is done with Watson. They're going to eat it. I think they go quarterback. So they could. They definitely... Look, I think it's 50-50. I think they're... I don't think there's any illusion that Watson's the quarterback of the future for them. But it wouldn't shock me if they used his contract plus the having Shador and Gabriel under contract for a year as a way to punt 1 extra year and then potentially go into next year's quarterback draft. But I could see them taking a quarterback too. So who knows? James, Giants don't have an O-line. That's why Dart sucks. Look at Jones and Indy with their O-line. Their O-line is better than the Giants. I mean, yeah, but I think, yeah. Look, Giants aren't going to take a quarterback. I think they're sticking with Dart. Spooner, the new Cleveland Steamers regime is going to cut Watson. Cleveland is still in the quarterback mix. So everyone's thinking quarterback for Browns. Despite the score, the defense looked a lot better. Harris did a great job, in my opinion. Helped the offense, gave us a whole lot of nothing. Defense looked gassed at the end. Yeah, I do think the switch up with Harris does look better for the defense. Again, going to need more than a one-game sample size. Raiders have a legit chance to beat the Chiefs. Yes. Daniel Barry Sports, what's up, dude? Moore is Trey Lance 2.0. They beat JMU and they're a high school team. Nothing special. Oh, well, no way. Trade the 27 Colts pick. That could be first overall. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't touch any of our 2027 firsts. I think for me, I would only play with draft picks within this year. Because I think the Jets pick next year and the Colts pick next year could be like, both of them could be top 5. Like, they legitimately could. And then you're just one injury away from either Jordan Love or Dak Prescott, because we get the higher of the two picks from whichever team loses, whichever has the better pick. So Jets could have like 3 very, very high picks. I don't want to touch next year's draft class. I can see the Giants and Raiders winning. I don't know about the Browns. Yeah, I don't care one way or the other if the Jets get Moore or Mendoza. Mendoza's actually, I shouldn't say that. I want Mendoza. Moore is a nice consolation prize. And then if you don't get either one of them, I'm not particularly fond of Ty Simpson. If you wanted to take a swing at him at 18 or for the Colts pick or whatever, like, okay, but I'm more than all right with waiting until 27 at that point. Draft class is terrible outside of the guy from Indiana. I don't think so. I think Moore's good. I just don't want to trade up for Moore. Kansas City Chiefs are moving from Missouri to a dome in Kansas City also, by the way. That's interesting. Yeah, I know they were talking about moving. I didn't know that was like the final determination. Don't hear anything about this here. Jets have the record for longest interception drought in NFL history now. Yes, we broke the record. Sucks. I mean, I guess we're good at something. Good at not getting interceptions. Rich, Asman is pissing me off, dude. It's all over the coaching staff despite having undrafted free agent quarterback. Third stringers all over the defense. Jesus would have been screaming for Shanahan to be fired that first year. Yeah, he's a passionate guy, Jake. He's a passionate guy. And look, I'm not disillusioned at all. I don't think the coaching staff has necessarily done a good job all year. So I get it. They're just not moving off of Glenn for a year. Blitz, first half defense looked better this week compared to the last two. I think Sherwood looked really good too today, comparatively for the last few weeks. People who say the 26 draft class is terrible is not smart and don't watch college football. Every position besides quarterback is stacked. That's a fact. Wide receivers really deep. Linebackers really deep. If I had to stick and pick at, say, pick 3, if both quarterbacks are gone, Arvell Reese, and then go wide receiver, or if you want to go with the top wide receiver, whoever you think that is. I like Tate personally, out of Ohio State, and then you go maybe Sonny Styles as the linebacker. I would go receiver, linebacker are the 2 positions I'd like to address in the first round if we don't go quarterback. I'm open to whichever direction they want to go, though. Blitz, thank you so much. Jets losing out is likely what Woody wants. As long as Glenn has the locker room, he'll be back. Unless a sauce-level trade is offered for the 4 best player available. I mean, losing out, we should get top 3. It should be a top 3 pick if we lose out. It would be really shitty to have the Giants win a game and then wind up with a better strength of schedule than us, and then we wind up just picking behind them either way. That would grind my gears. I want to at least leapfrog them. If they catch a win. Our focus now, for the most part, is going to be Raiders, Browns. Get one of those teams a win, and then, whatever. Giants could beat, who knows? Division rivals last week of the season, who knows? Maybe they can catch one. I think the Raiders have 2 opportunities to win this late in the season that we did not expect, especially that Chiefs game. Jake, I think we'd have to offer so much more than anyone else for the Giants to even consider trading with us the top pick. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't think we'd necessarily have to. If we were the top trade partner and we were picking in front of the Raiders, like they would take a lesser offer from the Raiders to be in a worse pick. Like I don't buy that for a second. I think the Giants would take whatever the best deal is. I don't think they care too much about the Jets overall. There's not really any skin. The only game that's going to matter is like once every 4 years where they play our division, and then the like off chance we catch them in a Super Bowl. Like they'll take the best possible trade package they can get. Jets fan for life. Raiders can win the next 2 games. Yes, they can. And honestly, them winning 2 games in a row is not the worst. It's not the worst case scenario, because the Jets wind up with the 3rd pick, and then the Giants more than likely probably get the 1st overall pick in this scenario, because I don't think I see them beating the Cowboys. But the Giants might be more apt to like trade with the Jets at that point, because like what other team are they going to want to drop down? If they think the Browns are taking a quarterback, they're going to get the number 1 non-quarterback by falling from 1 to 3. Draft math is crazy. Dude, it's nuts. The strength of schedule stuff is so hard to figure out. Maybe I'll sit down after this stream and just kind of go through what the actual like win-loss tie across the board is, because then we know what's what coming up here. Isaiah, listen, I can't evaluate this offense defense with like 6 key starters out and having 3 practice squad cornerbacks playing. Give AG another shot. Yeah, I'm of that same opinion. I don't think he's going anywhere. Jake, next year's draft is so much more loaded across the board. I'm really happy we have 3 first-round draft picks. I would be infuriated if the Jets gave up more than 2 firsts to move up at this point. Like, assuming the Jets are going to wind up finding a way into that 3rd spot, if the Jets get the 3rd pick, then you shouldn't have to give up more than the Colts first. And if you do, I'd go seconds. I'm not touching any of the firsts for next year. Billy, one thing we know for sure is Jets aren't winning another game. I am not going to count my chickens. They should lose the next 2 games, but I give the Jets every opportunity to win. Like, it would be so Jetsy to win versus the Bills and be like, oh, morale, yeah. Then we pick like fucking 7th. Like that is the Jets way. That is the Jets way. So I'm not going to lose any sleep. I'm going to lose a lot of sleep. I don't want to see this happen. Savage says Tate and Sonny Styles is the way. I mean, I really like that. That would be, without a quarterback in the cards, that's my 2 picks in this draft right now. That's my 2 picks. Boys and girls, before I get too far into it, I do want to thank the sponsor of the channel. Boom! Sleeper. Thank you so much for tuning in all season long. Sleeper has been a sponsor of the channel the entirety of the season, but I did not hit my marks today. Did not hit my marks. I don't think I did, right? Or am I missing something here? Let's see. A.D. Mitchell, 3.5 receptions. Did we get it? No, he had 3. I thought it was going to be close. Damn it. Cook had the over on the interception. Hall did not hit the rushing yards, 58.5. Bastard. It's like these guys know it. And then I had the under on the shuck yards, which did not play out well for me. So not great. Ryan betting with his heart more than with his head here. Think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players with more stats than any other daily fantasy app. Just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pre-game or live, pick more or less on the predicted stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win. Use promo code JETSTALK and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Sleeper, thank you so much for hanging in there and sponsoring the channel all season long. Blitz Crew, dropping in another 5 spot. Thank you so much, dude. I have faith that Geno is going to be huge for us the next few weeks. Milk thumbs. Hit the milk thumbs. Where's my milk thumbs button?
Milk thumbs.
Hell yeah. Geno Smith and Aaron Rodgers, two former Jets quarterbacks, are going to be massive. Aaron Rodgers needs to just get sacked to oblivion next week. Myles Garrett's going to break the record, and they're going to catch a win. Browns are going to catch a win next week. And then we're going to have Geno Smith go on a tear. And it's going to be great. It's how it's going to happen. It's going to play out. It's going to get the number one overall pick, and we're not going to have to trade anything. There are 6 teams in tank mode. It is useless. 6 teams in tank mode. I guess. I mean, Tennessee looks like they're trying to win for sure. Arizona is kind of in a free fall. They're gonna keep losing. Washington. I mean, obviously they have 4 wins. If the Jets were to catch a win and we fall back to 7, I'd be so mad. I don't want to see that happen. Spooner, Lazard making that catch against the Falcons screwed us like us beating the Rams years ago. Yeah, Lazard catching that fluky pass on 4th down was super irritating. Like winning on a last-second field goal versus the Falcons, and then also the Browns game with the 2 special teams like touchdowns. We really are the worst team in the league, and we can't find a way to get the number 1 overall pick. It's so infuriating. I want the quarterback. Just get me the quarterback without having to trade up. That's all I want. That's all I want. I thought our team was going to be good enough with Tyrod at the helm where I was like, we're going to catch a few more wins. Like I thought we'd beat the Saints. I thought we'd beat whatever. And I thought we'd be picking somewhere in like the 6-7 range. Not happening now. Texans 13-7 at half. Ooh. So Raiders have a shot. Does Hooker get a start? I don't think so. AG and fan base grossly overestimates this roster. It's showing, and now everyone should take a piece of humble pie. We actually were hoping for 7 to 9 wins, and this shit show so numb. So I had the Jets at 5 wins. Or no, did I have us at 6? Whatever the over-under was, I had us at the half game over. I think that was our over-under 4.5, and I had us at 5? Or we were at 5.5 and I had us at 6. I did not think we were winning 7 or 9 games. That would have been a very optimistic take. Amir, what happens if the Giants coach falls in love with Mendoza? Then Dart's on the trade block. I don't know. If the Giants fall in love with Mendoza and they have the number 1 overall pick, then it is what it is. They're not trading out of it. Unless they need a haul or they're going to draft out of it. Dart becomes available. Do you like Dart enough to make a trade? I don't think the Giants would trade Dart to us necessarily because I don't think they want to see Dart in their stadium. I don't think Giants are going quarterback. That feels like it would surprise me. QK. Remember when we all got excited when Joe Douglas said we will be playing meaningful games in December? That was 3 years ago. I mean, look, no one imagined Rodgers tearing his Achilles on the 4th play. Really, what we should be is what the Steelers are this year. That's what we should have been the last 2 seasons. Paulo, I think the Chiefs want to lose out for a running back early in the draft. I mean, that would be perfect. That would be absolutely awesome. I'm so excited about all these picks, mainly because every fucking year the highlights is mocks from me and watching your draft day streams all weekend. Then the actual season starts. Dude, Jake, me too. I have more enjoyment in the offseason on a consistent basis than at any point in the actual season. Like the times I start getting excited in the season after we start our like main losing streak at the beginning part of the year is when we're like hoping for losses and those are de facto wins at the end of the season. Sucks. Draft stream's going to be nuts this year. We're going to be doing a draft party, which I'll give you guys details on when we decide it. Campbell and AG also won 3 games their first year. AG will do his thing. I trust Muji as well. I do like Muji so far. So I think it's entirely possible that he's a good GM. I think Glenn's just got to figure it out. And I think we got 1 more year to look at it, and then we'll make a decision. If we do go quarterback this year, they'll pull the plug on Glenn after next year if he doesn't turn it around. Mumtaz, thank you so much, dude. Next week, Raiders or Giants will have a 3rd win. Do we end up ahead of them in the draft? They both need quarterbacks. Well, we want the Giants to lose, like more than the Raiders. Like Raiders definitely need a quarterback. Giants could keep Dart. It would be surprising to see them move off of Dart, in my opinion. But the issue with the Giants, if the Giants catch a win, they still might be picking in front of the Jets because of strength of schedule. It's going to get a little funky because right now we're tied with strength of schedule, so we got to keep an eye on like how these last few weeks and other games play out because they may still be in front of us. Fresh says Malik Willis is the quarterback. I don't know. How much are you going to have to pay him? Hopefully it's not like a lot, like a 1-year prove-it deal. I guess I'd be all right with that. Of all the options out there, like Minshew just tore his ACL, so like that's not like an option for next year. Really, there's not really many quarterbacks you could really point to and feel comfortable with. I'd take Dart behind our line. I mean, I would too. I don't think they would trade Dart to us. That feels like it might be a stretch there. Do we root against Mendoza doing well in the college football playoffs so he's less attractive, or would that prove he's not worth taking? No, I'm all about Ty Simpson, Moore, and Mendoza looking as good as possible and all of them wanting to get drafted. I want them to look like absolute all-stars because we have the ammo if we want to get up to number 1 and like the team that's at 1 wants to trade out, we can go do it. I think it's to our benefit because I think if any of the teams in front of us want a quarterback, whatever happens from here on out probably isn't going to determine whether they take a quarterback or not. I think it's a matter of which quarterback they take. Mendoza is the guy I really want to see. Shake my head should be by score. Yeah, I don't know what our overall like points for is. It can't be very good. Do we know that? I'd have to look at a different site. I don't know offhand. Saying the Giants need a quarterback is wild. I agree. I don't think they're going quarterback. Duke quarterback. He's going back to school. Darian Mensah has decided to return to Duke for a year, so he's not going to be an option. You're looking at probably Ty Simpson, Moore, and Mendoza as the top 3 guys, and then I'm sure someone will rise up, but you're looking like maybe, what is it? Nussmeier might be the next guy. Is that what we're thinking? Yeah, Nussmeier would be the next. Mateer, I don't know if he's said he's going back to school. Sellers is going back to school. Maava is going back to school. Carson Beck, Klubnik, LR. It's really like a 2 or 3. It's really a 2 quarterback draft class for us. Ty Simpson shouldn't be taken in the top 3 right now. I mean, if he goes on a crazy run and he wins a national championship, like that's probably the best case scenario for us is like Ty Simpson looks like a stud and then you're comfortable sitting at number 3. But in the last few weeks, I'm not feeling super comfortable with Ty Simpson at the moment. I also think the Raiders could beat the Chiefs. I do. I think so as well. Paul, if we miss out on Mendoza, would you try to trade down a little bit and try to get an extra second and still maybe get linebacker, wide receiver? Yeah, I would. If we don't get Mendoza or more, and Ty Simpson doesn't absolutely go off, if you're not going quarterback, wide receiver, linebacker are the 2 things I would like to go with. I think we should draft based off turnover differential. That would be delightful. Ty Simpson is still young. He needs 1 more year. Ty Simpson's not young. Ty Simpson is he turned 23 today. So he'll be if he goes back to school, he'll be 24. I do not think he is young. He has 1 year of starting experience. That's young, but not age-wise. Mumtaz, Cleveland keeps playing well and then because of stupid mistakes loses games. Let's hope they beat Aaron Rodgers next week and we move into number 3. Yeah, Browns getting that win versus the Steelers would be absolutely huge. Now, I don't think Myles Garrett didn't get the sack, right? Did he break the record today? He had half a sack, so he needs half a sack more to tie the record. So he's going for it against Rodgers. Duke quarterback going back to school. Diego Pavia in the 5th and a kicker in the 6th. Folk is retiring. after this year, by the way. Yeah, it sounds like Folk's going to retire. I don't want Diego. It feels like a headache. All college quarterbacks have low touchdown interception ratios. Yeah. It's because they're so wide open all the time. Man, watching more, I don't think I want him. Team has a lot of yak, and his deep ball is trash. I wouldn't say trash. Would you draft Mansour, the cornerback from LSU? I don't want to draft a cornerback, but if we had to take a cornerback, I don't hate that because his last name is very, very similar to mine. Mine has a Y at the end of it. His does not. So I would say for the sake of this argument, sure, why not? Even against JMU, it was all checkdowns. Well, yeah, look, I'm not a huge Moore fan. I've said I would trade up for Mendoza. I would not trade up for Moore. If Moore fell to us and they liked him, I'm okay with making the pick. Jake joining the economy tier. Thank you, brother. Greatly appreciated. Has any other team ever gone an entire year without interception and we hired a DB as our head coach? Only we could do this. I mean, it's looking more and more likely that's going to happen. I mean, we got obviously two games where teams could be up on us. They have good quarterbacks. They could be running the ball late in the game too. Like, I don't know. It's going to be close. We need 2 more wide receivers. I don't think we need 2 more. I think we need a tight end, and I think we need a receiver. Give me Tate and Bell as wide receivers. That is very double dippy at the top. I don't want that. But Tate I like. I'd rather spread a little love around. The cornerback from Indiana is the best cornerback in college. Which one is that? D'Angelo Pons, 5'9". I don't want a bigger corner than that. I'm not like super high on drafting a corner early. Ruckert is good when targeted. Yeah, I mean, I think I want a third tight end. I like that we re-signed Ruckert. I'm a fan of that move. Fan of the Myers move. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to go downstairs. It's going to be dinner time for Ryan and the gang. Thoughts overall, Jets lose. It's a good thing. We've got 2 games versus 2 division opponents that are going to be very challenging games for us to try and overcome. So hopefully we get those 2 losses. We need the Raiders, the Giants, and the Browns to win some games down the stretch, boys and girls. Let's fingers cross that happens. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. JETS!